So, our dream came true. We are crossing the Pacific Ocean. We are nervous a little bit, but it is what we wanted. Our first video will be about the boat, a great custom-made boat, about preparation to cross 2,800 nautical miles. It is 3,222 approximately miles. We crossed it in 20 days. Maybe somebody will be surprised why it is so fast, but we will tell you why. Here on the map you can see our path from Puerta Vallarta. Day by day, Ben did the tremendous job for me. But you see, here we turned back. Later we will tell you what happened, why we decided to turn back to Mexico. But eventually we reached our final destination, the Marquesas Islands, Nukuhiva Island, and everything was good. We had a great captain of this boat, and I think we were just lucky. And we will tell you in the details how it happened, what happened. How it happened that we crossed the Pacific Ocean so fast, and what happened, what unexpected things happened while we were in the ocean. Anyway, it will be very, very interesting, I hope. The boat is very big, spacious inside, and outside Ben is drinking his coffee. It's a kitchen, you can tell. A lot of stuff is going on, and everything is connected to the food. Because we are ready to cross the ocean, we have a lot of food stored here. It is Xavier place with all of the electronics. Very light. It's very light in here. We have many windows all around. Windows are everywhere. It's a master cabin with a toilet. You can see. It looks nice. And another toilet with a shower is here.
It's ours?
It's ours, yes. Right now it is ours.
And there's a cabin back there that's not used.
It is our cabin. And the third cabin is not used right now. It's like storage. But you can sleep, one person can sleep here too. Or maybe if people are really thin and small, they can sleep too, of them. By the way, I forgot to mention that our boat has even the washing machine right here. Great.
A tour of the exterior of the boat, but first we're going to start here at the navigation system, which is kind of cluttered at the moment, but as you can see, there are a lot of things that are accessed and controlled from here. Although there's a chart plotter up above in the cockpit, there's also a chart plotter here. There you can see the little Iridium Go, which is used for emergency communications. You can send basic emails while you're at sea, and you can even, although it's somewhat costly, make slow phone calls if you want. The VHF can be accessed from down here, as can the SSB, and the VHF can also be accessed up above as well. You can monitor and control all the boat functions from here, including the electrical system, and and the engines as well. So this is not just a navigation system, but a navigation station, but it is also something of a control center as well. Now let's move up to the cockpit, and you'll see that in the cockpit we also have a very sophisticated system of controls. But first, if you look up above here, you can see if the sun does not prevent us from seeing it, you can see the Starlink system there, Starlink antenna, and the 2 wind generators. There are also solar panels on top of this aluminum roof, which you can't see at the moment, but which provide a substantial amount of electrical power to this very large battery bank. In the 2 control stations, there are electric winches. There are 3 of them, and you can control the winches, the electric winches, from here. You can control the bow thruster from the other station over here, and you can control the furler on the Genoa, which is the front sail. It has a power furler which can also be controlled from here as well. So you can basically operate all of the sails of this boat from the cockpit without having to go to the mast for any reason under ordinary circumstances. Back here you'll see the dinghy, which is currently lowered, and the lockers back here, one of which, this one, contains the life raft underneath, the emergency life raft. And as you can see, there's hydraulic backstays that can be adjusted. We can, sure, you can open that and we'll show the emergency life raft, which automatically inflates if you put it into the water and pull the cord that is attached to it. It inflates and is a full 6-person life raft. Zena's opening it up so you can see it.
I'm a demonstrator.
She's a demonstrator, as she says. There's the emergency life raft, which looks compact, but it inflates to be very large. It has a roof, and it holds 6 people. Here in this red bag sitting on the cockpit seat is actually the immersion suit, one of the 3 immersion suits on the boat, which you will see in another part of the video, of this video or a different video. As you can see, each of these winches is very substantial, and as I mentioned, 3 of them are in fact electrical winches. All of the lines are run to the cockpit, so you can do pretty much anything you need to do from right here. The walkways are wide and easy to travel on without having to dodge all of the shrouds like you do on a lot of boats. An unusual thing that I had not seen before is that the cars for the head sails, for both of the head sails, can be operated from the cockpit and are both running in the same track here. Kind of an unusual system that I had not seen before. Similar is also, I had not seen before, an electric furler on a head sail, but we have one on this boat so that you can furl and unfurl the head sail under with a powered system, and you don't have to do it manually. So it makes all of these very large sails easy to handle and electrically powered, so that you're not doing a whole lot of winch cranking on this boat. As you can see, one other thing, this boat has no fiberglass on it that I have been able to see. Everything is aluminum, everything is metal, and even the roof of the cockpit is aluminum. It can be fully enclosed with these curtains that come down on each side, and so you can be protected from weather while you're sailing in this very roomy and spacious cockpit. Zena's trying on the immersion suit for practice before we cross the Pacific. This is an emergency suit that is designed to keep you dry and safe in the water. It's primarily for cold water, but actually also for any water for that matter. if you have to stay in the ocean for a long period of time, this suit can actually keep you alive. So we're going to practice putting them on, because in an emergency situation you want to know how to do this and not have to figure it out while you're in the middle of the emergency.
And cannons are...
Oh, the cannons, by the way, we're not sure exactly what that is, but it's part of some kind of holiday celebration. This is a holiday weekend here in Mexico, a Labor Day weekend for Mexico, and we think it's part of their holiday celebration, but we don't really know. It's been going on now for about 3 or 4 days, and it happens starting at 4 o'clock in the morning and starting again in the evening about 7 or 8. So
Actually, we showed you in our previous video that it was not a cannon. It was a very interesting firework. So, in the morning and in the evening.
First I need to put probably on my head.
I think the instructions say you put your arms in next.
Arms. If I put arms, I can't put my head.
Well, let's see if you can.
I try it. Or, you see?
Okay.
But look.
Yeah, I see. I see. There's a type of children's candy that's made out of gum. They're called gummies, I think, or Gumbies or something, and you look like a Gumby. Of course, you've got one that's too large for you.
I can't do it.
Let me see if I can, or if it's just difficult. No, I can't either. Well, I guess I don't think it would keep you dry then, would it? I can't either. It's stuck. In fact, I can't get it to go down either. So you may have to wear this all day.
Show.
Hey, when we go to the grocery store later this afternoon, it will be entertaining.
Go faster and show me.
Zena in her Gumby suit. Turn around. There's something on the back there. Oh, that must help to hold your head up. Yeah, that's what. It's also like a cushion to lay your head on.
Okay.
Well, I think you should stay in this all day. Things break on sailboats all the time, and there were two seemingly important things, one of which you see here, the boom vang. You see how it's broken as it comes down from the boom to the mast. The boom vang was broken, and the other was the inability of the Windex at the top of the mast to communicate wind speed, direction, and other wind measurements to the electronic instruments down below. Both of those things you would think are very important, and we wanted to fix both of them before we left Mexico. Ultimately, we weren't able to fix either one of them, and we had to leave without either one of them repaired, but we'll explain that as we go along here. We attempted to get a new boom vang, but we couldn't get it shipped to Mexico in time, and so even though you see us here removing the old one, we ultimately had to go on the Trans-Pacific without the boom vang. It's certainly a very desirable piece of equipment, but you can do without it, and we had to do without it here. The second problem, the reason why the boom vang was broken is interesting, because previous crew had used the very powerful electric winch to tighten the boom vang, and they had tightened it too tight to the point where the power of the electric winch just simply overwhelmed the metal and the lines running through the boom vang and actually destroyed it, collapsed it. Here you see our captain, Xavier, going up the mast. Zena and I were hoisting him up using the winches because he wanted to see if maybe there was a loose connection at the top of the mast, which was preventing the Windex from communicating with the electronic instruments below and giving us wind speed, direction, angle, and so forth. The arrow on the Windex was working and continued to work throughout the trip, so we could use the arrow to determine wind direction,
Ready?
but it wasn't communicating any speed or directional or angle information to the electronic instruments. It was not a loose connection, as it turned out, and we were not able to get this fixed before we left Mexico, and we had to do the entire trip without the benefit of those measurements from the Windex. Now, there was a backup system on the boat, which we rigged from the stern of the boat to sort of give us some kind of electronic readings. It was a portable, battery-operated digital wind instrument, which was able to feed some readings to the electronic instruments. They weren't really accurate because of the accuracy inherent in the device, because of the fact the device was not at the top of the mast, and also because it was battery operated. It would not work 24 hours a day, and in the middle of the night when we needed it most was when we didn't have it. And you'll see more of that later on in the videos.
You see, there is Xavier on the
One
top of the
second.
mast. But anyway, we got some fuel and water, and so ready to go to cross the Pacific, I think.
Well, we're here. It's Friday, May 5th, and we're here in Nuevo Vallarta, where we came to check out of the country of Mexico, because we are within about 10 minutes leaving Mexico and beginning our passage across the Pacific. It's been a long week. We had repairs to make and bureaucracy to get through, but now we have officially checked out of Mexico. We have our parts and our repairs, at least as much as we're going to get, and we're going to proceed across the Pacific. So in about 10 minutes, away we go. And goodbye Slip, goodbye Mexico, and goodbye North America.
When said we are ready to leave, I don't know if I'm ready. Actually, it is scary to imagine yourself in the middle of the ocean. I'm trying and I can't, but maybe I don't have to imagine myself. I'm going there.
You know, every time when I am in the airplane, in the air
Mexico.
over 10 kilometers up there, I have a feeling that that's it. There is nothing to be afraid of. Nothing depends on you, and you have to wait what might happen. And here I had the same feeling.
A first bruise, but not the last, I think.
So you are here, you are doing it, and we will see what happened. But in our next video, you will see the beginning of our trip and the disaster that made us turn back. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.